Dory 1, this is Fire Team Delta. Dad's coming home.
Welcome to the Military Veteran Dad Podcast, where it is our mission to bring every dad home. I am your host, Ben Cloy. I'm a United States Marine veteran, husband, and a father. We will bring authentic conversations to inspire action in your life so we can close the gap between the dad you are today and the dad you want to be tomorrow. This is the Military Veteran Dad Podcast.
Welcome back to Military Veteran Dad. This is your official welcome to the weekend. This is Fatherhood Friday, and it is a Good Friday going into the Easter weekend. Today's message is about getting knocked down. And the question I have for you is, when was the last time you felt like life knocked you down? Now, considering all that we've gone through in 2020 and however your 2021 is unfolding, that might land in a really deep way. How did life knock you down? Recently on my LinkedIn feed, I shared a story back in 2007. I had just returned from the Marine Corps, and my parents went on vacation, and I was running the farm. Now, life had to teach something to me on this day, and it taught me that things do not always go as planned. But when it's all on you, you have to rise to the challenges in front of us. You see, this day was the first day that I ever got into a fight with a silo unloader. Now, if you're not familiar with farming, a silo unloader is essentially what takes the silage out of the silo and throws it to the side, and it falls down in the chute and goes down into a bucket, and then you feed it. Well, on this day, that unloader did not work, and they're not short. They're pretty high up, so you got to climb up into a tube. You got to overcome some fear. You got to dig in a dirty area, then areas you don't even understand, of trying to figure out how this thing works. But that's pretty much farming on any day, is trying to figure out a lot of things you don't know how all that works. But on this day, I had to learn to ask for help from the neighbors because I didn't have all the answers, and I had never gotten into a fight with a silo unloader, and I didn't know how to win. But I needed to win. I had to grow up on this day. I had to realize that quitting wasn't an option. Now, this wasn't something I was new to me quitting, because I was just gone through the Marine Corps, and quitting wasn't something I accepted during that exercise, but something about the environment. When you change environments, you can often change your persona. That in some moments, you know you can't give up and the stakes need you to succeed. But then in other situations, you can feel that quitting is okay. And being back home, I didn't have the same mindset that I had in the Marine Corps, just kind of like a light switch. So on this day, I had to relearn what quitting was like without an option, where you didn't have a choice. There's no way. I got to get these animals fed. I had to learn to believe in myself when no one around me was able to reinforce it. Now, reflecting back on this moment, I realized a lot of things happened in this moment. I realized that parenting was very similar to this day. We often don't feel like we have all the answers to solve the problems in front of us. We often don't feel like we can do it. We often don't feel like we can get through the days sometimes. But rising to the challenges of fatherhood and learning there is a better way has helped me grow as a father, a husband, and a human being. Now, why do I share this story? And why did I start off with a question? Did life knock you down? Because when life knocks you down, those are the moments that later in life become those defining moments. Those moments where you look back and your character was shaped, where your character was developed, where you learn some of that character of what makes you you. You learn that not when you're going well and walking along. You learn that when you get knocked down. And when you get knocked down, it's not about how far you fall. It's about how fast you can get back up. And what can you learn on the way back up that helped make you fall, maybe? What is there within this lesson can we learn to prevent it from happening again? When we think of when life knocks us down, it, as a dad, is one of the most defeating things that we can feel, because You have these human beings that you call kids in front of us every day. And when life knocks us down, we just don't always feel like we have enough. But yet, we are enough. And again, as a dad, it's about rising to the challenge of that is in front of us. Just like that silo unloader. The very first time, probably, when you're raising kids and you get into that argument with your child, whatever age they're at, maybe it's that first one when they're 3 or 2, and you're just like, ugh. That moment is defining something. It's defining who you're going to be as a dad. And it's not something you want to run from, but it's one you want to understand. How can you remain calm in that moment? How can you show up with more character and more discipline than you have in the past? Even if we were to relate this to at work, how many times at work do you get knocked down? How many times when you're at work does something happen that just kind of takes the wind out of you? Like you're going around, you're just crushing the day. Something happens and there's no more wind. No more wind. How do you deal with that? How do you work through that feeling? A lot of men don't do that well. A lot of men thrive on that feeling of success. Their ego needs to be built up on this version of themselves who they are. And when that cracks, a lot of damage can be done. And the hard part is that it's often, we don't take it out on the people at work. We take it out on the people at home. Whether it be that argument we had at work that carries over into our family life when we walk through that door. And again, I share all of this to provide a perspective that no matter whether you have a similar story of getting into a fight with a silo unloader like I did in 2007, or whether you have a different story, whenever life knocked you down, let your character be the defining moment that helps you rise up and grow from it and grow through it. Because it's those challenges that are going to make us a more better dad, a more resilient dad, a more caring dad, a dad that understands his place in his kids' lives and how he can help lead them to their best life. But all of that happens when life tests us. And we've been tested in the last year and a half more than any time other than I've been alive. For how are we going to rise to the challenges in our life? Remember, life is not happening to us. Life is happening for us. And next time you get knocked down, pause, reflect, and look as an opportunity to grow through the challenge that's been put in front of you. With that, I'm signing off, and I will talk to you guys again on Monday as we'll be back with our interview show and back to our regular scheduled program. Have an amazing Easter. Enjoy some great family time, and I will talk to you guys again on Monday.